Okay, so today I'm going to show you an app called TeacherKit. It's right there in the middle of the screen. When I hit on TeacherKit, I get this area that has the teacher desk, and at first it didn't have any doors. Now each door represents a different class that I teach. You can see some of my classes, everything from my homeroom to I teach an International Baccalaureate program for Acton and Griffin, and also myself, which is our Science and Social Studies curriculum that we integrate through all of our subject areas. I teach a math class and also a language arts reading and writing class. So I made an example for you already that I'll be messing with today. And if you tap on the teacher's desk, you can see, you can visit their support page to get information. You can also make suggestions or report problems that way. Before I go to the doors, I also want to show you that you can hit on here. You can back up. I'm not going to go way into this, but you could back up this app and the things that you put on here in another way. You can also link to Dropbox if you're familiar with that program. And lastly, you can rate the app or like them on Facebook or follow them on Twitter, or you can simply tell a friend if you really love this app. Okay, so right now to make a new class, let's say this is yours, you have no doors yet, you would hit the plus and you can add a new class. Okay, I've already made a class, and this class is just the example class. If you look on this class summary page, which is the first page you'll go to, it shows overall attendance percentages, overall grades, behaviors, and grade levels. Now, if I go in the same area, I can hit this button, which is our class summary. And our class summary has a drop-down menu. What you first saw was the class summary. So now I'm going to go to my class, which is where you put in your students. So right now I have Jane Harris and John Doe. So if I click on one of them, you'll find their information. You can see their student emails, their parent email, the days that they were absent. You can also see how many notes they have, so those thumbs up and thumbs down, and just like the yellow notepad, all represent a different kind of note that I'll tell you about later. You can also see their percentage in the particular class at the bottom. Okay, so to make a new student, you just hit the plus at the top right, and you can add a new student, someone you've never had before, or you can go to your contact list, or you can add from a photo that you have, or you can add from other classes you've already made. So if you're working with the same students, but you may have them for different classes, if you enter them once, you'll always have them inside the app to just pull up inside another class. Right now I'm going to show you how to add a new student. So let's say my student's name is Renee, her last name is Tucker, and I can enter her email, I can enter her parent email, and I can enter the parent phone and name in this area. This makes it really convenient because if I want to send a report straight to a parent, I can email it directly from this app. So maybe a behavior or an attendance report. Okay, and then of course I'd hit save, and I would have Renee Tucker show up under my class list. Okay, the next thing I can do is attendance. So from the drop-down menu again. This is really easy. In the top left it shows you the date, the period, and also the year. If you click on that, you can change any of that information. So next you would go ahead and just go to attend all, and it automatically attends everyone in your class. If you do have someone absent, you can just put your finger right on that person's name, and then it'll show up as an absence. Okay, so that's attendance, really easy. If you go next to behavior, I can add behavior notes by clicking on any of the students' pictures. So I'll go to John Doe, I'll hit the plus sign, and I can put the title of whatever the behavior note is. I can also put whether or not it's positive or negative, or just simply a note. So let's say it's a positive note, I would click positive, I go into description, hit done, and then of course save. I can also just do a regular just note, to say it's not positive or negative is just something I want to remember about that student, I can do that as well. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and name this math fractions. And maybe I just want to put a note in about this student and how they're doing with fractions in math. So maybe reteach equivalent fractions might be my note. Okay. And let's just simply say it's not positive or negative, it's just a note. Okay, so now that note shows up. Okay, so that's behavior. Pretty neat, because then on your class summary page, you can see right away how the percentage of positive to negative behaviors, or just their notes in general as well. If you go to gradebook, and I already kind of put some fictitious grades in here, you can add assignments, and then by hitting the add button in the top right hand corner, you can enter the title of the assignment. You can enter a description of what the assignment was. You can enter the date, of course, if you're behind and you don't get it in write that date on that date. And then your maximum grade. So if it was out of 100%, I'd put 100%. If it's out of 4 and you're using some kind of rubric or whatever, you could do that as well. You can also do weight. So how much of a percentage will this be towards their grade? Okay. You can see I've already done this. Let's say I had a fraction quiz. That particular student, Jane Harris, got an 83. If I tap where it says fraction quiz, it'll give me all the details. So I can edit that as well, or I can remove it if I needed to. Right. The other really cool thing that you can do from this particular screen is pull up a report. So by tapping on the button in the top right hand corner, I can get all their students and all their percentages or grades for everything that they've done in class. So I'm going to show you that again because I did it kind of fast. So look at the top right hand corner. You can kind of see the mountain with the X and Y axis. And if you look, you can now see Jane Harris has so much of a percentage on homework 1, 2, fraction quiz, and an in-class handout. And then see it calculates the total on the right. So right now Jane Harris has a B, Jane Doe has an A. I can also print that report. It's the print button up at the top right. I can email that report as well by hitting the email button, and it'll go, of course, my email. I pulled that up right away. I can email that to myself. Okay, I'm going to delete the draft because I don't need it right now. Okay, so let's say I'm done with that page. So that is the grade book. So pretty nice. Let's go back to class summary so you can see kind of how that's changed as I've put in some data. You can see the note over here to the right, the yellow notepad has changed since I added a note for a student. And then if I go to my class at this point, you can also say that I have John Doe here, sorry. And if I hit a report, I can see all of John Doe on one page. His behavior, his absences, his behavior details, his you can see the circle graph at the bottom, his percentages of gradable items in classwork, homework, fractions, whatever that might be, and his grades on each of those assignments. So a pretty neat way to make a report that you can share with parents. So now if I hit the email button, I can email this right to John Doe's mom or dad or guardian, and they have the information all on one sheet, and they can keep up with what's going on at school. Okay, so pretty neat app, lots of different things that you can do with it. I hope you'll try it out and let me know how it goes. Again, that was TeacherKit.